So when you go into your ancestry and learn about your background, a lot of questions pop up fairly quickly, right? For me, the questions that popped up were, when I go back to Africa, will I be able to see myself in the faces of the African people, like physically see myself? Will I be accepted? Will I be embraced? I have a wife who's white and indigenous. If I am in an interracial marriage, will the African society and African cultures accept me? So I had all of these questions in my mind, and I got off of the airplane in Abuja, which is the federal capital of Nigeria. And the first person that I saw after getting off the plane was a security guard, and he could have been the twin brother of my maternal grandfather. I mean, they're just the spitting image of each other. And it was at that moment that I realized that I was home. I realized that I was with my people, that I needed to spend more time figuring out the relationship between my life and the nation of Nigeria. And that then has led into and bled into my work as an investor, my work as a community leader, even as an economic theologian. Some of the thoughts that I've thought about economies of scale, most of them have been centered in the United States of America, but my trip to Nigeria gave me the ability to think a little bit more broadly about economics and economies of scale, and more specifically about what it would look like to build economies of scale on the continent of Africa and in the nation of Nigeria. So I would say my trip to Nigeria was a life-changing trip. It's one of those moments in life that sort of everything changes. And there's one other part of the story that's probably worth mentioning. So when I was in Nigeria, I spent most of my time with like senators and ambassadors. It's just how my trip played out. And the last night I was in town, they took me out to dinner, some of these folks, and they sat me around a table. We had a great talk, laughed a lot, ate fantastic food. And at the end of it, everybody got very, very silent, and they sort of like circled around me, and they gave me a new name. They gave me an African name, and my African name is Adamu Omowale Chibozor, which represents a name from each of the three most dominant tribes in Nigeria. The middle one, Omowale, is the title of my upcoming book, and Omowale translates into "Our son has returned home." And they made it very, very clear that I was part of them, that they were part of me, that I was part of the Nigerian diaspora, and that they embraced me and my family. And it was a moment.